Discover the incredible life-changing secret of her rich Yahoo boyfriend, Part 2, Inspiring Struggle Love. Claire stood at the counter, flinging pancakes onto plates with a speed born of necessity. The din of clanging forks, sizzling skillets, and chattering customers consumed the air around her. Life as a single mother wasn't easy. The late-night shifts at the diner paired with early mornings as a cashier left her exhausted but determined. She could feel the weight of responsibility on her shoulders. Every dollar earned a step toward a brighter future for her 7-year-old daughter, Mia. Yet, in those chaotic moments, hope often flickered dimly, drowned out by the constant flurry of bills, groceries, and ketchup-stained menus. Then, there was Jason. He strolled into the diner, one ordinary Wednesday coffee shop casual, jeans that hugged just right, and a grin that could melt glaciers. Claire's heart did a little flip at the sight of him. As he asked about the menu, an electric connection sparked. He talked animatedly about his latest tech venture, fingers dancing like he was coding right there across the counter. Time slowed around them, and Claire felt a rush of warmth, yet insecurity flared inside her. How could someone like him ever understand her world? Days turned into dates filled with laughter, packed with spontaneous drives to see the autumn leaves painted brightly in yellows and reds. It was beautiful, intoxicating, and terrifying all at once. Each adventure felt like a lavish movie set, a stark contrast to her reality of dwindling cash and late-night worry. Claire struggled with a sinking feeling, rapidly rising from her self-doubt. Would Jason really be able to fully embrace her life, her finances, her daughter? Sometimes, it felt as if she were merely playing a part in his grand tale. The deeper they fell into this whirlwind romance, the more Claire felt pushed and pulled, like a boat caught in choppy waters. Jason shared stories of his extravagant trips, luxury resorts, exclusive parties, but her mind was trapped in a cycle of coupon clipping and meal prepping. She fought valiantly to bridge that gap between their worlds, despite the internal battle that was slowly brewing. Mia often wanted to be included in the times Claire spent with Jason, and the tension between them started showing. Claire's patience fraying as her energy was stretched too thin. But then, life twisted cruelly when Claire received the call about her mother's sudden illness. Her heart raced, pain and guilt twisting together. What would she do? The opportunity Jason represented loomed ominously above her like dark clouds threatening a storm. She had to choose between her roots and the shimmering horizon Jason offered. Neighbors had already cast their doubts. What business does she have with a rich boy, they whispered, and the sting of their judgment cut deeper than she cared to admit. Before we continue, I need to let you know about something important that's happening. YouTube has been making changes to the system, and many people are losing notifications from channels they follow. If you're enjoying the content, hit that bell and mark all notifications so you don't miss the next videos. And if you can drop a like, it really helps me with reach. Seriously, it makes a difference. Oh, let me know in the comments where you're watching from. I'm always curious to know who's on the other side of the screen. Now let's continue. With her mother in a hospital bed, Claire's thoughts spiraled, a whirlwind of responsibility, attachment, and an aching desire for something more. As she sat beside her mother, the weight of her choices pressed down harder than ever. Questions bubbled up. Was she betraying her roots? Would she ever find acceptance in both her past and her desires? The raw emotion settled in her chest, tightening with every passing thought. Now, Claire was at a crossroads. With her mother's health hanging by a thread, and whispers of judgment ringing in her ears, she had to confront the richest part of her heart, the part that longed to embrace Jason without losing herself. Could she carve a path ahead where ambition melded with love? Time was running out, and her soul ached for a resolution to this chaotic blend of loyalty and potential. Sitting in the sterile hospital room, Claire felt trapped by her choices. The steady beeping of the machines and the soft rustle of nurses moving past her made the space feel even more suffocating. She glanced over at her mother, which only intensified the swirl of emotions inside her. Thin and frail, her mother's presence was a stark reminder of family ties, love, and the lingering fear of loss. Mia had awkwardly sat at her mother's bedside, squeezing Claire's hand tightly, her innocent eyes darting between them. Claire tried to smile, to show her daughter that everything would be okay, but the worry gnawed at her. What if her mother didn't pull through? What if she lost the one person who had always supported her, a woman whose sacrifices enabled Claire to even consider a life outside their small town? "Mommy, will Grandma get better?" Mia asked, her voice soft yet steady. The sincerity in her question cut through Claire, wrapping around her heart like barbed wire. Claire didn't have an answer. All she could offer was a reassurance she didn't truly believe. "I hope so, sweetheart," she managed, forcing her voice to sound bright despite the shroud of doubt hanging over her. "The doctors are doing everything they can." As the hours dragged on, Claire felt an unsettling restlessness inside her. She wanted to be there for her mother, deeply, but the memory of Jason's warm smile kept creeping into her mind, his support, his unwavering belief that she was more than just a waitress or a struggling single mom. Suddenly, a message pinged on her phone, jerking her back to the present. It was a text from Jason, "Thinking of you. Let me know if you need anything." Simple, kind. Yet the weight of it felt like two lifeline choices. One was a potential escape from her struggles, the other was tethered tightly to her family. What would happen to this dazzling spark she'd found with him if her mother got worse? Would he still want her after facing such vulnerability? The thought tightened Claire's throat. She had built a fragile fortress around this new love, holding onto it tightly as if it could shield her from the storm brewing in her life. Just then, Claire's mother stirred, her eyes fluttering open. "Claire," she whispered, her voice raspy, yet familiar. Claire leaned in closer, desperate to absorb every moment. "I'm scared," her mother admitted, tears escaping her eyes. Claire swallowed hard, feeling a rush of fear wash over her. "It's okay, Mom. You're going to be fine. Promise me don't lose sight of what makes you happy," her mother said, her expression shifting between exhaustion and earnestness. "That Jason, he brings a light to your eyes." Claire's breath caught. How could her mother sense that brightness even in her weakest moments? The pressure of the world fell upon her once more. As she grappled with her mother's words, Claire found herself caught between two worlds: devotion and desire. She couldn't help but wonder, could she truly embrace this love, or would it break under the strain of reality? As the sun sank low, spilling orange and gold into the room, Claire realized she was at a critical juncture. Jason represented hope and a future that seemed unattainable, while her mother represented everything that anchored her, her past and her love. Could she balance the two without losing herself completely? Claire squeezed her mother's hand, determination flowering in her heart. Questions remained as dark and heavy as the clouds outside, but Claire longed for an answer. It was time to confront the truth of her choices. Would her heart lead her to Jason or keep her by her mother's side? Beyond this hospital door, the world awaited, but for Claire, the real battle was just beginning. What path would she choose? Claire felt the weight of her mother's gaze, a mix of support and unspoken fear. The hospital room was dim, the evening light casting long shadows that danced on the walls. She wished she could just bundle everything up: her mother's fragility, Mia's innocent hope, and her romantic dream with Jason into a neat package. But life didn't work that way, did it? It was messy and complicated, leaving her wondering what thread she should cling to. As her mother's fingers tightened around Claire's, a jolt of energy surged through her. "You're strong, Mom. You've always been strong," Claire murmured, attempting to instill confidence. The kindness they'd taken for granted now transformed into a lifeline. How could she let go of that? Mia shifted her small body, nestling against Claire's side. She pressed a crayon blue drawing of a flower into Claire's palm, a crude masterpiece found in the awaiting room a few hours earlier. "It's for you and Grandma," she said, pride sparkling in her eyes. Claire studied the drawing, a flood of emotions cascading through her. Here was Mia, blissfully unaware of the heavy atmosphere, turning the simple act of drawing into a beacon of hope. "Thank you, sweetheart. It's beautiful," Claire said, her voice cracking just slightly. She kissed the top of Mia's head, overwhelmed by the intertwining pulls of motherhood and daughterhood. What did it mean to be the caretaker and the cared for all at once? Can we take grandmommy home soon? Mia's question shattered the delicate rest. Each word was woven with childlike sincerity, but it felt like an anchor dragging Claire into a sea of uncertainty. Did Mia truly understand the weight of the moment? Or was she comforted by the notion that the hospital was just another adventure? Soon, my love. Soon, Claire promised, wishing she could fast forward through the problems but knowing deep inside that running wouldn't solve anything. It would just lead to a more convoluted heartache. A nurse entered, interrupting the tension. She had a gentle smile, the kind that could momentarily warm the coldest of spaces. We're going to run some tests. It might take a while, but you can stay here. Her professional tone softened with empathy, and Claire was grateful for the brief distraction. As the nurse left, Claire turned her focus back to her mother. Do you want me to call Jason? She asked hesitantly. The name hovered in the air, like a ghost in the room. Would her mother be able to sense the stirrings in her heart? Yes, her mother replied, a glimmer of understanding twinkling in her eyes. You need to talk to him, Claire. Life is too short to wonder about what could be. With those words, the walls in Claire's heart began to crack. It felt as though her mother's spirit was giving her permission to breathe, permission to love and embrace all parts of her life, even in this turbulent moment. But just as her fingers hovered over the phone, her heart pinched with hesitation. What would she say? Would she burden Jason with her worries, or would she share the contagious light her mother spoke of? Taking in a deep breath, Claire felt a little more composed. She had to be strong. For her mother, for Mia, for herself. Just a quick message, she murmured to herself, her resolve strengthening. But would Jason still want to step into the fray when the storm had yet to calm? When he discovered the truth of her life, would the light still shine in his eyes? Claire's thumb hovered over the screen as her heart raced. Would this be the moment that changed everything? The looming decision echoed within her, and she wasn't sure if she was ready. Then, Mia spoke up, her innocent candor breaking through. Mommy, if you love him, then you should tell him. The words, spoken with the wisdom of a child, sent another wave of warmth through Claire. Could she really move forward? Suddenly, the weight of choice hung in the air, challenging her to decide what kind of future she truly wanted. With a deep breath, she pressed send. The message began to take form, a tender yet tenuous leap into the unknown. But as the message zipped away, a question loomed heavy: would Jason still embrace her even after learning the whole truth? Claire watched the message slip away, her heart pounding like a drum in a silent room. There was no turning back now. As she stared at the blank screen, a tidal wave of emotions washed over her. What would Jason say? Would he still see her as the same person he had been falling for, or would the weight of her reality push him away? Mia's fingers tangled with Claire's, and for a moment, she focused on the strength of that small hand. It was a reminder that love and connection could still flourish, even in uncertainty. You know. Mia chirped up again, her eyes twinkling with mischief, when you tell him you love him, you should invite him over for a pizza. Pizza makes everything better. Claire couldn't help but chuckle softly. Her daughter always had a knack for lightening the mood. Pizza, huh? That might just do the trick, she replied, ruffling Mia's hair lovingly. The simple joy in those small dreams of pizza parties and laughter was a stark contrast to the weight pressing down around them. Minutes turned into an eternity as Claire and Mia waited, her mother dozing lightly in the hospital bed. Claire took this brief moment to escape into thoughts, replaying cherished memories with Jason. The goofy laughter during movie nights, stolen kisses beneath starlit skies, their dreams intertwining like vines. Could she really risk all that by exposing her vulnerabilities? Then, her phone buzzed, breaking through the stillness. Instinctively, Claire snatched it up, every nerve ending on alert. A message from Jason flashed across the screen. Hey Claire, I got your message. Can we talk? I'm here for you, always. Her chest tightened. He was ready, willing to lean into whatever challenge lay ahead. Words were lifelines, they could bring a deeper understanding, a connection that transcended the present circumstances. Could it be that simple? She held her breath, absorbing the weight of his message, each syllable like a step toward healing. "Mommy, is it him?" Mia asked, excitement bubbling over, her innocence once again a balm for Claire's anxious heart. "Yes, baby. He wants to talk." "Good. Tell him we should have that pizza." Mia clapped her hands, the sound echoing delight in the muted hospital space. With newfound determination, Claire leaned back against the wall, a sliver of hope igniting within her. "I will," she promised her little girl, her heart ready to embrace the possibility of opening up to Jason. But doubts surged as she gathered her thoughts. She imagined the conversation, the moment she would plunge into the depths of her fears and worries, the uncertainty of her mother's health, the tremors of her own heart, and the responsibilities that lay heavy on her shoulders. Would he truly understand? She typed back quickly, her fingers trembling with both anticipation and fear. "Can you come over later? There's a lot we need to talk about." Pressing send, Claire felt a strange mix of relief and anxiety wash over her. Words had been exchanged, but now, the real challenge loomed, joining her truths with Jason's trust, forging a path forward together. As the seconds ticked by, Claire sat in the stillness of the hospital room, holding her breath for a response. The air hung thick with the promise of change, and with it, an unsettling question: was she ready to bare her soul to Jason? Before she could unravel her thoughts, Mia asked, "Mommy, will Grandmommy be okay? Do you think she'll get better?" The uncertainty in her daughter's voice pierced through Claire. "I hope so, sweet girl. We're all hoping." But deep down, Claire feared the reality she knew all too well. Would courage be enough to keep them together amid the storm? Would it be enough for her mother? Just then, her phone buzzed again, but as she looked, Claire felt that familiar tightening in her chest. What could it be now? Her heart hung in the balance, the tension almost palpable. Could the news shift everything? The next moment could change everything. Claire's fingers hovered over the screen, pulse racing. She opened the message, fear and curiosity clashing inside her. It was a simple text from Jason: "I'll be there in an hour. Is everything okay?" Each word felt like a stone heavy with implication and concern. She looked at Mia, who had rejoined her imaginary game of superheroes in the corner of the room. Watching her child, Claire's thoughts ran wild. Thoughts swirled around their future and the fate of her mother, but the innocence shining in Mia's eyes grounded her momentarily. "Mommy?" Mia's voice broke through her thoughts, pulling her back in. "Can we still have that pizza party?" Claire smiled wistfully, a breath of laughter escaping her lips. "Of course, my superhero. We'll have the biggest pizza party ever." Mia's face lit up, but the reality still loomed over Claire. How would they celebrate when her heart felt so heavy? The hour dragged on as Claire replayed snippets of her life with Jason. She pictured his warm smile, the way he listened, really listened, to her. Not just to the words she spoke, but to the feelings beneath them. Part of her longed for him to arrive, to wrap her up in his arms and make everything seem okay again. But what if he didn't respond how she hoped? What if laying her soul bare only pushed him away? She bit her lip, anxiety creeping back in. Maybe it would be better to keep it all bottled up. The hospital room felt colder, the hum of machines churning in the background. Claire stood up and walked over to her mom's bed. The frail body, once so full of life, now seemed a shell of the woman she had always known. "Mom," Claire whispered, brushing aside a stray hair from her mother's forehead. "I need you to fight. Come back to us." Just then, Mia appeared at her side, resting her head against Claire's side. "Is Grandmommy sleeping?" "Yes, sweet girl, sleeping." Mia lifted her head, eyes sparkling with determination. "She can hear us. Let us tell her about the pizza party," The innocence of her daughter brought a fresh wave of warmth, filling the room with a small light in the growing darkness. "Okay, let us do that." Sitting on the edge of the bed, Claire gently narrated their pizza plans, what toppings they'd choose and how they would spread the blanket out in the backyard, under the stars. Her mother's chest rose and fell rhythmically, but every minute spent in that room felt like an uncertainty stretching before her. She wondered if their dreams of a perfect night could become a cruel joke. Another buzz from her phone nearly made her jump. Did Jason decide to text her again? The message was simple yet heavy, "I'm here." Her heart leaped, and in that moment, everything shifted. A new layer of anxiety twisted within her. What if this was it? The chance to share everything, the fear, the burden, the love. She wanted to feel his arms wrap around her in a way that would ease the weight, but feared what might happen instead. "Mommy, can I go see him?" Mia asked, excitement dancing in her eyes again. Claire hesitated, torn between wanting to shield her daughter from the storm and needing Jason's support. Let me go first, okay?" Before Mia could respond, Claire turned, taking a deep breath. She knew she had to step into this uncertain meeting. It was time for everything to change. With every step down the sterile hospital corridor, her heart raced. Would Jason understand? Would he see her the same way? The door swung open, and Claire's pulse quickened. But as she stepped into the hallway, she glanced back at the hospital room, remembering the weight of everything left unsaid. What would Mia think if she didn't open up? And then, a sudden thought pierced through her worries. Would she ever be able to truly heal without taking this leap? The moment hung in the air, electric and charged, as Claire tightened her grip on the door frame. She took a breath. Would she walk towards Jason or step back into the safe distance she had created? As she took that vital step forward, her heart whispered, "This is it," but was it really enough to build a future from here, or would darkness still cling to her when she opened that door? Claire stepped into the bustling hallway, the chaos of beeping machines and hurried footsteps fading behind her as she sought to ground herself. This moment was unlike any other. She wanted to feel hope, but a heavy sadness dragged at her heels. The fluorescent lights above flickered like nerves sparking in her chest. She forced a smile as she caught sight of Jason, standing a few steps away. He looked the same, yet somehow different, more serious, maybe, or just more aware of the fragility of life. His brow furrowed, and his warm brown eyes locked onto hers, scanning for signs of what she concealed just beneath her surface. "Claire," he said softly, the way he always did, as if he wanted to soothe her with just his voice. "Hey," she replied, her throat tight. The word came out as a whisper, but she could barely form anything more. He stepped closer, concern showing in the lines of his forehead. "Is it? How is she?" His gaze flicked back toward the room behind her. "She is still sleeping. The doctors say she is stable for now." The ache in her heart throbbed as she spoke. Would it ever go away? Jason reached out, brushing a stray tear from her cheek with his thumb, his touch sending a ripple of warmth through her. "You look tired," he said, concern mingling with everything else in his tone, the love, the hurt. "I am. I don't know how to handle it all. I don't want Mia to feel any of this. She deserves better." His eyes revealed understanding, but that didn't mask the growing tension between them. "You can't protect her from everything, Claire. She loves you too. She can feel when you're in pain." "I know," she admitted, "but she shouldn't have to carry this burden." Jason stepped back, clearly processing her words. "And you shouldn't either. You're not alone in this. I'm here." The weight of that statement sank in. It was both a comfort and a challenge. She thought of how often she'd built walls, trying to keep him out. But what if I'm not enough? What if this changes everything? "Then we change with it," he said firmly, but the avoidance in his eyes told a different story. "Jason." It felt as though a dam had burst within her. "I need to tell you everything. I can't just pretend everything is okay anymore. My mom, and this wait. Before she could finish, he gently cut her off. Let us talk about it. His voice steadied her in the whirlwind of uncertainty, promising a safe space. The conversation began like the soft notes of a song. Claire spoke haltingly, revealing the depths of her fear, her doubts, her love for Mia, and her mother's condition. Each confession felt like peeling away a layer, exposing the frail core of her heart. Jason listened, really listened, absorbing every word she said. But Claire noticed his expression shift as she revealed the chaos in her mind. Was there disappointment mixed with concern? A fear for their future together? What if I told you I'm not ready for this? Not ready for all of it? Claire felt her defenses shaking. Their shared silence stretched. I still want to be here for you, he said softly. Just then, Claire felt a tug at her heart. She needed to show him what the future could hold. Maybe we could, but before she could suggest a solution, a soft voice interrupted their moment. Mommy? Mia appeared, poking her head around the corner. Claire's heart soared while anxiety surged back all at once. Claire's gaze darted back to Jason, who wore a protective smile. He crouched down to Mia's level, warmth radiating as he greeted her like a beacon illuminating a dark room. Hey, little superhero. What are you doing out here? I wanted to see you. Can we have that pizza party soon? Claire's heart cracked open, revealing a glimmer of hope in the chaos. Yes, sweetheart. Just waiting for Grandmommy to wake up first. Mia nodded and glanced between her mom and Jason, sensing the tension that still lingered. Are you guys okay? Of course, we're okay, Jason reassured, his eyes not leaving Claire as if inviting her to join this moment of innocence. Suddenly, a thought struck Claire. What if this was the moment to embrace the uncertainty together rather than facing it alone? Jason's presence gave her that glimmer of promise, but could it really replace the fears lodged deep in her heart? As they shared that moment with Mia, everything felt closer and more complicated at once, whirling around the possibility of building a new future in the face of their present struggles. But as Mia looked up, her eyes bright with hope, the question remained, would the delicate threads connecting their lives hold strong enough to weave a new path forward? With her heart racing anew, Claire took a deep breath, knowing the next moments would lead them somewhere they couldn't yet see, but oh, she hoped they could find their way. Mia's eyes sparkled with childlike innocence as she looked between her mom and Jason, the tension now lifted, if only for a moment. Claire smiled, feeling warmth flood her like sunlight breaking through clouds after a storm. Can we play a game while we wait? Mia pleaded, bouncing on the balls of her feet. Claire looked at Jason, their shared silent communication saying what words couldn't. How about a game of I Spy? She suggested, wanting to anchor this happy moment. Okay. You start, Mommy. Mia exclaimed, her enthusiasm palpable. All right. I spy with my little eye, something that is blue. Mia squinted dramatically, contemplating the walls, the nurse's scrubs, and even Jason's watch before her face lit up. The sky. The ceiling is blue. Jason chuckled, a lovely sound that made Claire's heart swell. Good guess, but it's not the ceiling. Then it must be the ocean. Mia declared confidently, filled with the energy of a kid who truly believed they could find treasures in every corner of the world. Nope, Claire said, biting back a smile, hint, it's something in this very room. Is it the curtains? Mia guessed next, the excitement fizzing in her voice like soda on ice. Nope. But you're getting warmer, Claire teased. Jason interjected playfully, maybe it's the superhero in the room? Mia giggled. That's me. Claire felt a ripple of joy escape her lips, laughter lifting the heaviness just a little bit more. It was moments like these that reminded her why she fought so hard to stay strong. Just then, a nurse's voice echoed down the hall, pulling them from their game. Miss Claire. You're needed in room 305. It's urgent. A cold knot twisted in Claire's stomach. I'll be right back, she said, her voice trembling. Jason stood, squeezing her hand gently. "I'll stay with Mia," he reassured, the comfort in his eyes acting as a buoy in a sea of uncertainty. As Claire walked away, the bright sounds of Mia's laughter faded into the distance, replaced by the rhythmic beeping of machines and the muffled whispers of hospital staff. She felt the weight of the world settle back onto her shoulders. Each step toward room 305 felt heavier, her heart pounding against her ribcage. When she reached the door, it swung open to reveal two doctors standing together, offering concerned expressions that sent dread spiraling within her. They looked like harbingers of bad news, their posture rigid, their mouths drawn tight. "Ms. Claire," one of them said gently, gesturing for her to sit, "we need to discuss your mother's condition." Her breath caught. Time slowed as she took her seat, the room spinning slightly. Is she okay?" Their eyes exchanged a quick look before the other doctor spoke. "We're seeing some complications that concern us. It would be best to prepare for possible scenarios." The words hung heavy in the air, thick and suffocating. Claire felt her heart plunge into a deep well of despair. Prepare for what? Did it mean her mother was? Her world tilted again. Panic clawed at her chest. Thoughts raced. What would Mia do without her grandmommy? What would happen to her family? Can I see her? Claire's voice broke, pleading for a shred of hope amidst swirling uncertainty. The doctors nodded, but their eyes held a gravity that told her she might not like what she would find. As she stepped back out of the office, she caught Jason's gaze across the waiting area. Determination shimmered in his eyes, mixing with concern. "What did they say?" he asked, rushing toward her. "They need to talk about," Claire began but couldn't finish. Instead, she glanced at Mia, who was now coloring with broad strokes on a piece of paper, blissfully unaware of the storm gathering in their lives. "Hey, maybe we need to get Mia out of here for a bit," Jason suggested gently, a plea hidden behind his words. Claire shook her head, unsure. "I can't. She needs to understand. We're all in this together." But was that the right approach? Would she frighten Mia with the shadows lingering just outside the brightness of their little group? As the mumbled conversation of doctors echoed in the distance, uncertainty again tangled in Claire's heart. In the end, would revealing the truth help bring her family closer, or would it shatter what little peace they had left? With courage faltering, Claire faced Jason, her heart racing with the weight of what lay ahead. "How do we face this together?" Just then, a nurse stepped forward, breaking the thick silence. "It's time." The question pulsated in the air, waiting unanswered. Would their shared strength be enough to guide them through what was coming? Claire felt as if the walls were closing in as she followed the nurse down the sterile corridor, the smell of antiseptic hitting her like a wave. Each step echoed with doubt and fear, a stark contrast to the warmth they had just shared in the waiting room. Mia's laughter was now a faint memory, a reminder of what was at stake. As they approached room 305, Claire glanced at the door, its stark white surface feeling more like a barrier than an entrance. The nurse paused to give Claire a reassuring smile, but the expression did little to alleviate the dread pooling in her stomach. "Your mother is in her bed. She's awake." With a deep breath, Claire nodded, pushing the door open slowly. The scene in the room washed over her, bathed in soft light. Her mother, frail but resilient, lay propped against the pillows, the beeping machines a steady reminder of the battle she had been fighting. Claire's heart quickened. Was this the last time she'd see her mother smiling? "Mom," Claire whispered, rushing to her side. Her mother turned, a gentle smile breaking through her exhaustion. "Claire, my beautiful girl," she murmured, her voice hoarse but warm. "You came." "Of course, I did. I'm here," Claire replied, the tremor in her voice betraying her calm facade. She reached for her mother's hand, the familiar warmth grounding her amidst swirling worry. "Is Mia with you?" "I want to see her," her mother asked, her eyes sparkling with a mixture of joy and concern. Claire hesitated, knowing the weight of what to tell her. She's in the waiting room with Jason. I thought before she could finish, her mother interrupted, a hint of laughter in her tone. Oh, you thought? Don't you dare keep that little one away from me. She lights up the room. Relief flooded Claire as she watched her mother's spirit shine through the pain. I'll bring her in, Mom. Just a second. She rushed back to the waiting room. Jason looked up, concern etched across his face. How is she? Awake. She wants to see Mia, Claire said, feeling a flicker of hope. But the next words hung on her tongue. I don't know how much time her voice trailed off, the implications weighing heavily. Jason stepped closer, placing a steadying hand on her shoulder. We'll take it one step at a time. Let's just let Mia be with her for now. Claire nodded, her resolve strengthening. Together, they returned to the room, Jason carefully closing the door behind them. Mia was deep in her own world, oblivious to anything that lay beyond her colorful drawings. Okay, sweet pea, time to meet your grandmommy, Claire said, kneeling beside her. Mia's eyes lit up. Is she better now? Claire forced a smile, knowing the truth was more complex. She's awake and wants to see you. Let us go. Mia skipped ahead, her innocence a stark contrast to the weight in Claire's heart. As Mia entered the room, her face transformed into pure joy. Grandmommy. Her mother reached out, and Mia climbed onto the bed, her laughter mixing with the soft beeping of machines, creating a fragile sound of hope. Look at all this art. Her mother exclaimed, her face softening with every tone of Mia's voice. For a moment, everything felt right. Joy lingered in the air like a warm blanket. But Claire knew this couldn't last, they were treading water in an ocean of uncertainty. As she watched, Claire felt her heart race again. What if this was all they had left? Her mother deserved only bright moments. She wanted to take away the shadows. But was she strong enough to hold them all together? Was loving enough? Tears threatened to fall, and as she turned away, she caught Jason's gaze. He saw the question lingering in her eyes, the fear she couldn't voice. Claire, he said softly, you're not alone in this. We'll figure it out. Just then, the nurse popped her head back in, her clipboard in hand. I need you all to step out for a moment, we need to run some tests. Claire's heart sank anew. Tests? Yes, it's all routine, but I promise to get you back in as soon as we can. As they stepped out, the door closing quietly behind them, Claire felt the air shift once more. A new urgency clawed at her thoughts. What did the tests reveal? Would they bring answers or more uncertainty? Jason's hand brushed against hers, grounding her. They didn't have the answers yet, but together, the three of them could navigate even the toughest waters ahead. As Mia's laughter faded again into the hollow hum of hospital sounds, Claire's heart lurched with unformed fears. Would they find a way to combat the shadows looming over them? The uncertainty loomed like a storm on the horizon, and Claire could only grasp tightly to the hope that flickered within them, waiting for the next moment when they could face whatever came together. The waiting felt interminable. Claire paced the sterile hallway, each footstep echoing her anxiety. Her eyes darted towards the clock overhead, its relentless ticking amplifying the tension. It had been too long. Did it have to be this way? Claire. Jason's voice broke through her spiraling thoughts. He approached slowly, concern marking his features. He took a seat beside her, finally resting his hand on her knee. You're wearing yourself thin. How about we talk? I don't want to talk, she replied, her voice a tight whisper. I just want to know how she is. What if he hesitated? What if we look at some of the drawings she has done? It might lighten the mood before we go back in. Claire's eyes softened, remembering the vivid colors Mia had poured onto paper. You're right. Let us do that. A few moments later, they settled into a small waiting area nearby. Jason retrieved Mia's drawings from his bag, spreading them across the table. Each picture told a story: the family under a radiant sun, a giant rainbow arching above their house, and a playful puppy brought to life with splashes of color. Mia's bright scribbles drew a smile from Claire, coaxing some of the weight from her heart. "She's so amazing," Claire said, her voice finally softening. "Bonding with art just like her grandma." Jason laughed lightly, settling into the moment. "Just you wait until she ups the ante with crafts. Then we'll need a bigger house." They shared a brief moment of laughter, a soothing balm against the anxiety building in Claire's chest. But just as it was getting easier, the door to room 305 opened. A nurse stepped through, her demeanor serious. "Are you family?" she asked. Claire shot to her feet, fear racing through her. "Yes, is everything okay?" The nurse took a careful breath. "There are some developments. I need you to follow me." Jason's grip on Claire tightened as they followed the nurse back to the room. Claire's heart raced, dread settling into the pit of her stomach. What could have changed so swiftly? Inside, her mother was now surrounded by doctors, their faces a mixture of concern and urgency. "Claire." Her mom's voice broke through the tension, an attempt at reassurance despite her frail appearance. "It's going to be okay." But the boldness in her mother's tone left Claire shaken. Just moments ago, she was laughing cheerfully with Mia. Now, it seemed as if the warmth in her mother's gaze flickered with fragility. "Your mother's test results came back," the lead doctor said, looking directly at Claire. "There are complications. We need to consider all options, including treatment adjustments." Claire felt like the ground beneath her was shifting. "What kind of complications?" Her voice barely masked the fear that threatened to escape. The doctor hesitated. "We cannot rule out the need for immediate, more aggressive treatment." Jason squeezed Claire's hand, grounding her amidst the swirl of medical jargon. She felt as if she were drowning, grappling for air, while clinging to her mother's hopeful gaze. "I'll fight," her mother said suddenly, fierce determination blaring in her expression. "But I need to know that you're both with me through this." Tears streamed down Claire's face as she nodded. "Always, Mom. You're my everything." The moment hung heavily in the air, a fragile thread of hope threading between them. They faced an uphill battle, but together they would confront whatever lay ahead. But as the reality of the situation sunk in, another fear loomed. What if the treatment didn't work? What if they were already running out of time? Suddenly, the door swung open again. This time, it wasn't a nurse, but a family friend Claire hadn't seen in years. "Claire. Is that you?" The unexpected appearance caught her off guard, but a flicker of recognition began to dawn in her. What could she possibly want now? Claire's heart raced anew, the anxiety intertwining with urgent curiosity. Was this a coincidence, or was fate pushing them towards something they hadn't considered? As she turned to face the mysterious figure, the weight of unspoken questions hung in the room. What new secrets would unravel in this moment? Claire felt her breath hitch as she turned to see the familiar face that time had softened. It was Barbara, a lifelong friend from high school who had drifted away in the chaos of adulthood. Barbara stood in the doorway, her eyes wide with surprise and concern, but soon they were filled with warmth. "Claire. I saw your mom's name on the patient list. I didn't know you were here. How is she?" The unexpected reunion felt like a flash of light on a dark day. Claire quickly wiped away her tears, summoning a semblance of composure. "She's fighting, you know. It's complicated." "I'm so sorry to hear that," Barbara said softly, stepping closer to wrap her arms around Claire in a firm embrace. The comfort swept over Claire like a much-needed balm. It reminded her of the importance of connection, just as they were grappling with so much uncertainty. As they pulled back, Barbara's gaze shifted to Jason. "You must be Jason. I've heard quite a bit about you," she said, extending a hand with a friendly smile, a hint of admiration in her tone. Jason took her hand, clearly intrigued by the deepening ties forming around Claire. "All good things, I hope." "Only the best," Barbara replied, her eyes sparkling with sincerity. The conversation shifted as Barbara gave them both a quick rundown of her life since high school, revealing that she had become a nurse at a nearby hospital. "I could help if you need to ask questions about the treatment," Barbara offered, her voice steady and reassuring. Claire felt a wave of relief ripple through her. The connection to Barbara represented stability, a small anchor amid the tumultuous storm. "Would you? That would mean a lot." "Yes. Please, anything you can share would help," Jason chimed in, eager to support Claire in whatever way he could. As Barbara explained the treatment options with clarity, Claire's heart began to settle. Every medical term that left Barbara's lips held the potential for understanding, knowledge that pierced through Claire's fog of fear. The mood lifted in the room, and Claire couldn't help but glance at her mother, who remained attentive through it all. "Mom, see? We have more options than we thought," she said, her voice brimming with hope. But even with the possibilities laid before them, Claire still felt the weight of reality bear down. What if it's too late? She found herself saying, the vulnerability explicit in her eyes. Barbara instantly stepped closer, ready to catch Claire if she fell. "It's never too late to fight for your loved ones. And remember, you have a team of people who care for you, all family, friends, and even new connections." All three of them paused in a moment of reflection, their unbreakable bonds now illuminated by this moment of truth. Jason turned to Claire, resting his hand on her shoulder, the warmth spreading like a spark. "Whatever happens, we'll face it together, we," he affirmed, and Claire nodded, feeling the weight of their intertwined lives. "Yes. Together," she whispered, the notion filling her with steel-like strength. As they stood united, taking in the gravity of the moment, Claire realized that even in the darkest storms, love and support breathed life into her spirit. Deep down, she understood that the real fight was never just against illness but for connections, for dreams, and for the family that pulled her heartstrings taut. With Barbara and Jason by her side, Claire felt fortified against the uncertainty that lay ahead. She allowed herself to imagine a future where struggles could lead to triumph, and love would traverse the space between adversity and hope. A sense of calm started to blanket the tension. "Let's take this one step at a time," Barbara suggested, her voice both practical and nurturing. And so, with hearts intertwined and hopes gathering like embers within their souls, they forged ahead. Each moment spent by her mother's side served as a reminder that even in chaos, love had an extraordinary capacity to flourish. The future remained unwritten, but they were ready to write it together, filled with laughter from Mia, brave banter from Jason, and the loving support of family. As they stepped away from the weight of despair, Claire, Jason, and Barbara walked forward into the unknown, united by the incredible bond they shared, the commitment to fight, to love, and to hold fast through whatever storms may come their way. Through it all, Claire realized something vital. Life doesn't guarantee easy roads or endless joy, it presents moments of profound challenge mixed with brilliant flashes of kindness and connection. The path ahead would be dreaded at times but equally filled with the beauty of vulnerability. A future awaited them, one they could face together, guided by love. Before we part ways, I want you to take action. You need to subscribe now to the channel to not miss the next exclusive stories. Leave a like now to feed the algorithm and help us reach more hearts in need of profound stories like this one. Comment below your reactions, feelings, and what you think of this journey. Share instantly this video with at least 5 friends who need to be inspired by this transformation. This is the moment to show your support. Don't wait not even one more second, join our community now.